Okay, what we currently have is a 2001 Chevrolet S10 Blazer, two-wheel drive, two-door, with a 4.3, a 5-speed, and essentially a gov lock with 342s in the rear, all stock. As you can see, it almost looks like a 60s style gasser. So we need to take care of that. We need to drop her down a little bit. At this point, I do have the parts to drop the front as much as 5 inches with the parts I have. As it currently sits, there's about 7.5 inches between the top of the tire and the bottom of the fender lip. So it should help quite a bit in at least the front. I'm currently running BF Goodrich TA radial 235 6015 on a torque thrust 2 in a 15x8 with a 3 3/4 inch backspace. As you can see, there's quite a bit of space that we need to shorten up. In a 4-wheel drive, that'd be fine. But in a 2-wheel drive, it looks goofy. So we'll take care of that. In the rear, another BFG TA 295 5015 on a 15x10 torque thrust 2. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the backspace that I was looking for. I don't think they even manufacture them anymore. Hell, they're not even making them in America anymore. They're made in China. American Racing, made in China. Go figure. I was looking for a 4 1/4 or 4.5 inch backspace. That would have been perfect. But then again, they don't seem to make it anymore. I can't seem to find any of them. At least not now. Years ago they were available, but now they're not. So unfortunately, they do tend to stick out about an inch more than I would like. You just have to live with it. Just have to deal with it. So why don't I just go back to a 15x8 like I had before? Well, I tried a 15x8 with a 275 6015, and unfortunately it beat the centers out of them because the wheel was just too narrow for the tire. So I bit the bullet, bought 1510s. I'll live with the little bit that sticks out. Who knows, maybe one day I'll stuff a narrowed rear end under it. Take care of that. Why such a big tire? Well, hopefully in the not too distant future, it will be a home for a first generation small block 383 and a 700R 4-speed automatic trans. Should scoot pretty well. I may or may not have some issues at the rear. Due to my 3-inch exhaust. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of clearance. And I don't really want to go back through and redo my exhaust until I put the 383 in it. Unfortunately, on a 2-wheel drive Blazer, there's really not a lot of room to run it You obviously can't run it between the spring and the fuel tank. The room just isn't there. But later on in the swap with the 383, I plan on going to fuel cell, so I should be able to run the tailpipes out inboard of each spring and the fuel cell itself, so I can run a true set of duals. But for right now, I don't really want to go back through and redo my exhaust. That being said, I'm going to try the 3-inch drop springs that I have for the rear, the 3-inch leaves, also from Beltec, and see where that leaves me. If I do have enough clearance, then I'll try adding some blocks. I'm not a big fan of blocks because they tend to localize the stress on the spring and it aggravates wheel hop. But, you know, sometimes you got to make compromises. I'd prefer not to go with a 3 or 4-inch block. I'd rather do a spring and a block. Don't like to take too big of bites in one area when you're working with suspension. Little bitty bites in different places tend to work out much better. But we won't know until we get there. In addition, I'm also going to install a pair of Caltracs that I bought to help with the wheel hop issue, because even stock it does currently experience quite a bit of wheel hop. With a small block it would be disastrous. I will say one thing about the Caltex: they are expensive, but oh my god, they are a work of art. They are absolutely beautiful. So if you can afford to, buy yourself a set. And I haven't even put these on. I haven't even tried them yet. And they look phenomenal. And they should work just absolutely perfectly. Alright. Well, enough with all the introduction. Let's get after it. Let's get her done.